I'm like the proud mother. Yes, do you see my smile? Jeez.
Yes, we see that beautiful smile. Model Kim Porter stepped out in Los Angeles on Monday night to support her son, Quincy Brown.
You know, when it all happened, I was filming away. So, you know, there was, you know, I'm like the rock of the family, you know, especially when it comes to, you know, times where it's like family is really needed, you know, and now I think I'm back.
The night before Kim Porter passed, she sent a group text to close friends, saying, "He got me." In that same message, she strongly implied she believed she'd been poisoned. That revelation hit hard, especially for those who already felt let down when 50 Cent's Diddy documentary glossed over Kim's suspicious death, leaving her story in silence and sparking heavy speculation. Now, momentum is shifting. Word is that Kim's eldest son, Quincy Brown, is reportedly teaming up with 50 Cent on a new documentary. This one focused squarely on Kim Porter's life, legacy, and untimely passing. That alone raised eyebrows. After all, Quincy drew scrutiny earlier when he appeared in court for just one day of Diddy's trial, leading some to interpret it as quiet allegiance. But the reality may be more nuanced. Here's the crucial distinction. Quincy never publicly defended Diddy. He never clapped back at critics. He never matched Christian's vocal intensity or Justin's visibility. Instead, he remained calm, deliberate, and distant, setting a markedly different tone. And critically, unlike Diddy's biological sons, who have both been named in lawsuits tied to serious allegations, Quincy has never been accused of wrongdoing. Not once. That clean record alone separates him significantly. Now, new reports suggest Quincy may have been playing chess, not checkers, staying close enough to observe, prioritizing his sister's safety, and waiting for the right moment before making his next move. Reports indicate Quincy remained present, steadily, strategically, until Diddy was taken into custody. Only then did he shift gears. Now that Diddy is behind bars, Quincy is reportedly preparing to confront the long-circulating rumors head-on that Diddy may have played a role in Kim's death. And if 50 Cent is truly backing this project, this documentary won't just reopen old wounds, it could detonate the entire conversation, far beyond what anyone anticipated.
An enemy that has a position of influence in your child's life, and knowing that that person sends you notes and messages every now and then, if you don't do this, if you don't do that, that boy is dead.
Quincy has always operated differently from Diddy's other sons, even though Diddy helped raise him. That contrast has been evident for years, but it exploded into public view during last year's Homeland Security raids on Diddy's properties. Christian and Justin were both on site and both ended up in handcuffs. The images spread instantly, dominating headlines and social feeds. Quincy, nowhere to be found. The twins were absent too. His conspicuous absence lit up the internet, sparking endless speculation. At the time, Jaguar Wright even alleged Quincy was quietly cooperating with federal authorities, fueling rumors that spiraled in every direction.
And Quincy's missing.
Quincy's missing. Oh. And lastly,
after he was questioned by the feds.
After.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was in witness protection, right?
Let's be clear, the idea that Quincy was in witness protection strains credibility, especially since he was visibly present at Diddy's trial, seated with the family. That alone undermines the theory. Still, new reports suggest his proximity to Diddy wasn't loyalty, it was protection. Specifically his sister's safety. Sources claim Quincy operated under a quiet but solemn promise he made to Kim, to shield them no matter what. For years, he said nothing publicly about the rumors swirling around her death. No interviews, no tearful social posts, no accusations. Now, insiders insist that silence was deliberate. He understood, moving against Diddy prematurely would have been reckless. He needed to wait for leverage, for timing, for safety. And that moment may have arrived. Quincy is reportedly developing a full-length documentary centered on Kim Porter, not just her legacy, but the unresolved questions surrounding her death. With 50 Cent reportedly involved, and years of tension simmering beneath the surface, speculation is mounting. This project could unearth revelations no one saw coming, because something about that night has never added up. On November 15, 2018, Kim Porter was found unresponsive in her Los Angeles home, discovered in bed by a family member. Paramedics arrived too late. She was pronounced dead at just 47. The shock was immediate, the grief profound, but the questions, they've only grown louder ever since.
A shocked and devastated Diddy spotted at the home where his ex suddenly and mysteriously died. Her good friend Kimora Lee Simmons appearing inconsolable at the house, 47-year-old Porter's body found after a desperate call to 911.
EMS 14, respond with engine 76 on scene of the cardiac.
The autopsy ultimately cited lobar pneumonia as the cause of death, and the LA County Medical Examiner officially classified it as natural. On the surface, that sounds conclusive, but dig into the timeline and the story quickly starts to unravel. Kim reportedly first mentioned a sore throat around November 7th. By the 12th, she developed a fever. That rapid onset and what followed has long fueled skepticism. Was the full clinical picture ever disclosed? Notably, sources confirm she tested negative for both influenza and strep throat. Her treatment reportedly included antibiotics, vitamins, and pain medication. Her family later stated that by November 14th, she'd improved significantly, her fever had broken, she was feeling better, and even well enough to receive a massage that evening. That detail has always stood out and raised serious questions. If Kim was suffering from severe, life-threatening pneumonia, why bring an outside caregiver into the home so late in her illness? And perhaps more puzzling, the identity of that massage therapist has never been publicly confirmed or even named.
We know that Kim, and it's in the this is in the documentation, shout out the paperwork. He looked in the paperwork and it said Kim received a massage for about an hour when she's supposed to have full-blown pneumonia. Who gives somebody a massage when they got pneumonia? And do we know whether she used that baby oil or not for that massage? It makes you say,
Adding to the unease, the coroner's report explicitly noted Kim had no history of substance or alcohol use and no documented chronic health conditions. By every account, she was vibrant and in good health. That only deepened the mystery. How could a 47-year-old woman, seemingly robust, succumb so suddenly to natural causes? One of the first to publicly challenge the official narrative, Kim's ex and Quincy's biological father, Al B. Shore. From that moment on, doubt never faded, it intensified. Al has been unequivocal. He saw Kim shortly before her death, and according to him, she made no mention of illness, showed no outward signs of distress or deteriorating health. For years, he wrestled with the natural causes ruling. Eventually, silence became impossible. In July 2020, he posted an emotional, raw clip of himself sobbing, the morning he learned of Kim's death, captioning it, "I just found this footage from the morning I learned of Kim Porter's death and how it ripped the soul from my physical body." Then he went further. "I know very clearly that Kimberly didn't just check out all of a sudden over pneumonia. That's some BS." He didn't stop there. He referenced celebrating Quincy's Netflix deal and Christmas special with Kim just weeks prior, emphasizing how radiant and lively she was, even laughing while watching him and Diddy interact at a theater. In closing, he added the pointed hashtag, "Don't let the love songs fool you," widely interpreted as a direct rebuttal to Diddy's performative grief. The post vanished shortly after. Al later explained Quincy reached out, saying it was deeply triggering, and asked him to take it down. But deletion didn't mean retraction. Al doubled down, insisting the official explanation still made no sense. Speculation flared. Did Diddy pressure Quincy to intervene? Were tensions being manufactured between father and son? Through it all, Al held firm, unwilling to retract, regardless of discomfort. He kept speaking out. In November 2021, he shared a throwback photo of himself, Kim, and Quincy, captioning it with a cryptic quote Kim had once sent him, "Life imitating art, art imitating life. Now it all makes sense." He hinted she'd confided far more and revealed he'd urged her, "Call the FBI." In the comments, he added, "You would never believe what she went through." The implication was clear. There was much more beneath the surface. Then came the unsettling turn. Just months later, Al was rushed to the hospital in a sudden, unexplained medical emergency. He collapsed while working in the studio. Doctors were baffled. Multiple severe health crises erupted simultaneously, no clear cause. He slipped into a coma for nearly 2 months. Upon waking, he disclosed a harrowing ordeal: multiple surgeries, an organ transplant, blood transfusions, intubation, and prolonged ventilator support. It was life-threatening and deeply traumatic for fans. Predictably, the internet connected dots. Several figures linked to Diddy's orbit, Heavy D, Brittany Murphy, Bobby Christina Brown, had also died under similarly ambiguous circumstances, often with lobar pneumonia listed on their death certificates. Bobby Christina's autopsy, same official cause as Kim's. That parallel ignited a firestorm of speculation. Yet even after nearly losing his life, Al refused to retreat. He continued posting cryptic, deliberate, fueling theories that Diddy was tied not only to Kim's death, but also to his own collapse. The pressure mounted until mainstream media took notice. Earlier this year, Fox 5 New York featured Al in a high-profile interview promoting his memoir. Looking directly into the camera, he posed a haunting question. "Do you believe me now?" That's when everything accelerated. In that interview, Al made explosive claims. He never believed Kim's death was natural. He alleged Diddy's involvement, not just in her passing, but in the 2022 medical crisis that nearly killed him. His conviction was absolute. "I am 100% convinced someone tried to take me out, right after I started speaking publicly about Kim."
In 2022, you had the liver transplant, you had the tracheotomy, I mean, all that stuff that went on.
Multi-system organ failure.
Yeah,
Wow. 60.
Have they figured out what happened yet?
We will.
No, I mean, have the doctors medically, like, what happened to you?
Yeah, what happened? So,
because you just collapsed, right?
Yeah, so, just mysteriously out of the blue, which we do talk about in the book.
Yeah.
If you actually knew what they did to me, there was a bounty on my head, there was a bunch of stuff.
So do you think specifically then that Sean Diddy Combs or people affiliated with him did something to you that caused you to have multi-organ failure?
I believe this to be the case, yes. Absolutely.
Wow.
My first time.
That single declaration reverberated across social media, igniting outrage, disbelief, and renewed scrutiny. Once again, Al left no room for ambiguity. He does not believe pneumonia was the true cause of Kim Porter's death. His stance isn't speculation, it's conviction, sharpened by grief, silence, and a brush with mortality of his own.
What evidence do you have?
She was in the best of health. We just saw each other prior to her passing. We were actually celebrating our son's new Netflix Christmas special, and she was doing just fine. In fact, we were all at the event together at Netflix in the lobby. Sean, myself, the children, all having a great time, and I'm, grabbing Sean like, "What?" And she's in the back going, "Stop."
He hinted strongly that there's much more information he hasn't shared yet, and according to him, the truth will eventually come out.
There's no, like I said, this is not marketing for me. I'm living this life. And
So
the only
yes.
reason I wanted to tell the story, Kurt, was very specifically because I was ignored. There was the most expensive PR campaign against me to shut me down.
Are you concerned that he still has power outside of incarceration?
Remember, I'm the only one who spoke up, and I'm the only one left alive. So this is not about a scared thing, it's just time to reveal the truth. I mean, it is what it is. I went through many.
She's in the back pleading, "Stop." That chilling detail, when Al says he's held back until now, hints at a far deeper story still untold. He's been explicit, this is only the surface. And according to him, the full truth will emerge in time. He's adamant this isn't performance nor publicity. This isn't marketing, I'm living it. The only reason I'm telling this story, Kurt, is because I was silenced, buried under the most expensive PR campaign ever mounted to shut me down. When asked whether Diddy still wields influence, even from behind bars, Al's response was stark. "Remember, I'm the only one who spoke up, and I'm the only one still alive. This isn't fear talking, it's time. I've endured years of being dragged, discredited, called delusional, dismissed. I was ignored while the narrative was locked down." With those claims now aired on a major news platform, the conversation has shifted, no longer fringe speculation, but a serious, mainstream reckoning. It remains unclear whether Al and Quincy have reconciled, or whether Al is involved in the rumored documentary, but many hope he is. After all, he was the first, and remains one of the only prominent voices to demand a real, independent investigation into Kim's death. His credibility, hard-earned through years of backlash, could prove pivotal. At its core, this is about accountability. Kim Porter deserves answers, she deserves justice, and context matters. Look at what 50 Cent has already exposed about the systemic control, intimidation, and narrative manipulation surrounding Tupac and Biggie. That pattern casts a long shadow, and many now see Diddy's relationship with Kim through the same lens. Multiple reports and first-hand accounts describe Kim living under intense, restrictive control during their relationship, behavior that raised alarms years before Cassie's allegations surfaced. That history forces a troubling question. How far did that control extend, and what happened when someone tried to break free? Diddy has long demonstrated one principle: when power is at stake, compromise is not in his playbook. But now, Quincy is stepping forward. A documentary appears imminent, and after years of silence, the dam may finally be cracking. So we turn it to you. Do you believe Kim Porter's case warrants formal reopening? What's your take on Quincy's evolving stance and his history with Diddy? Drop your thoughts below. If this breakdown resonated, hit like, subscribe, share, and keep pushing for the truth, because some stories shouldn't stay buried.